too make-believe to be true. Because like 5 years ago, you would have never dreamed that those nice condos would be there, and then the subway would be there.
Overall, I think gentrification is a tool that solidifies the stratification of classes. There are people who live in an area that becomes 100% people like them. 3 big tools have been used in a lot of areas. First, you build a big police station. Secondly, you tear out all the basketball courts. And lastly, if there's a local public school that poor people attend, you tear down the school.
They closed 3 schools up in our neighborhood. The middle school, the high school, and the baby school.
Why?
They closed 3 buildings. I don't know. I guess they trying to push us out the neighborhood. It's decent people living in the project. You know, pay their rent, people work. You know, everybody ain't the enemy. Hey, what's happening?
You live here?
Yeah, I lived here approximately my whole life, 28 years to be exact. So this is the garbage they put up here that they supposed to have been taken down because the problem they had is fixed. This is our lobby. The phones used to work when the police used to have a police station right here. This used to be their police station right there.
What happened to that?
We ran them away. Well, the people ran them away because they was on BS. That's our mailboxes. Half of the doors don't lock on the mailboxes.
Do you have email?
Do I have any mail? I ain't checked the mailbox today. No, I got a bill. Yep, I got a bill from Tribune that I'll never get the newspaper if they send it to me. The changes in the neighborhood is changes in the neighborhood around us, not to us, around us. We got 1.5 schools in our neighborhood. 35, 40 kids in one classroom with one teacher. He can't teach everybody all, you know, he needs some help. So that's why all the kids, when they go in class, if they ain't getting no attention, they gonna run away.
This land is worth more than what the niggas over here can give them. So what can you do with them? Displace them, and the ones that you don't want over here, you get rid of them. You get rid of them. You know, and what you use as an excuse, you use the drug dealers, you use the cocaine habits. You know what I'm saying? Cocaine dealers. You know what I'm saying? You use the people that's over here doing nonsense to try to get rid of nonsense. We grew up as a family. You know, one building to the next building to the next building. You know, you can sit up here and talk all you want to, but yet still, we love our kids. This is my son. Come here. This is my son.
Do you feel like your kids have an opportunity to get rich in this country?
Hell no. Hell no. They ain't no rappers. My kids ain't gonna be rappers. They ain't gonna be rich.
It's easier to just cleanse the earth of these people, send them to the far reaches of the universe, and the mayor's office will build a big police station, build a bunch of townhouses, the yuppies will buy in and bougify it, and suddenly we'll have a community. Yeah, there'll be a bunch of people displaced. Yeah, there'll be a bunch of crime problems, but it's easier. We found the easy solution.
Charles Darwin did not invent the term survival of the fittest. That was Herbert Spencer, a social Darwinist who thought that if we just allowed the rich to get richer, that was good for society because we want to discourage the poor from having a lot of children and basically surviving. That kind of social Darwinist notion has stayed alive in certain quarters, and I believe that it is there behind much of the economic policies we are now seeing.
Look, there's never in history been a time when the ordinary people of this world, and particularly in the rich nations like the United States, Britain, and Europe, never been a time when the ordinary people have had the level of income and living that they now do.
But what about the tens of thousands of people whose lives were affected by this decision?
You can't make an omelet without breaking eggs. You have a system which is overwhelmingly yielding good results. But there's no question that it's not perfect, and there are cases and people will get hurt, but that's true of any system.
Doesn't it make you nervous when you see so many powerful and extremely wealthy individuals sitting there directly influencing those politicians when we're in a democracy?
They're not influencing anything. They're playing a role in the political system, but Congress is ultimately going to be influenced by public opinion, by what the public wants. The public will get what the public wants.
A few months ago, I told the American people I did not trade arms for hostages. My heart and my best intentions still tell me that's true, but the facts and the evidence tell me it is not.
In the 1980s, the U.S. government illegally sold weapons to Iran and used the money to support Nicaraguan rebels in what turned out to be the Iran-Contra scandal. At the center of the deal was one billionaire who had unfettered access to the secret workings of the U.S. government.
We got involved in this Iran-Contra story, which unfortunately backfired a little bit on everybody. They asked me to finance it. I said, okay. So I gave credit to the CIA for $1 million, and they shipped the equipment, and the Iranian paid me back. It was supposed to be a hush-hush operation. As business people, we have ways of manipulating the government officials, and they have ways of manipulating us. I take advantage of opportunities that come. In all relationship in the world, when you have contact, like if I have contact with you now, I'll call you when I arrive in New York and say, hi, Adnan, I want to see you. I have to, there's nothing abnormal. You probably will take me out to dinner and introduce me to another person who I make business with.
You would say you're not an arms dealer and you never were?
No. The truth is, if you investigate through the records and so on, you find out we never dealt in arms. It was just a title given to us by the press.
But when you helped connect the United States government and the Saudi government over sales of weapons, what would you call that?
Marketing. I worked with the British on the Lightning program. I worked with Raytheon on the missiles. I worked with Northrop on the F-5. But this is normal business. This is the whole life around the free system is like that.
It's been the case for the last 25 years in the United States that the amount of money flowing into the system for political contributions has been a major shaper of who gets what within the economy, because they always want something, whether it's a tax change or it's a change in regulation or it's a subsidy or what have you. And as a result, there are a number of studies that show the people giving the money have often had the greatest benefit in terms of what happened to their stock price of their own personal fortune.
Meet the kings of sugar, Pepe and his brother Alfonso Fanjul of Palm Beach, Florida. Critics estimate these plantation owners make an extra $65 million a year off the sugar program in American consumers. The government puts the total cost to consumers at least $1.4 billion a year.
The Fanjuls, there is no story of the Fanjuls. If you're got me up this morning to talk about the Fanjuls, and we're making an issue of the Fanjuls as such, we could get it over with in a hurry.
In that fatal moment in the Oval Office, when Bill Clinton was confronting Monica and telling her it was over, he's interrupted with a call from, it turns out, Alfie Fanjul. Alfie Fanjul was very concerned